What if ancient miracles were actually advanced agricultural techniques? The biblical story of Naboth's vineyard tells of extraordinary fruit production under impossible conditions. Was this divine intervention, or could science explain what seemed supernatural? Today, we explore where faith meets botany and discover how ancient wisdom might hold keys to modern agricultural mysteries. The story of Naboth's vineyard emerges from a time when agriculture was humanity's lifeline, and every harvest meant survival or starvation. In ancient Israel, vineyards weren't just economic assets, they were generational treasures, passed down through families like sacred inheritance. The biblical narrative describes Naboth refusing King Ahab's offer to purchase his ancestral vineyard, claiming it produced fruit with miraculous abundance, even during droughts and harsh seasons. But what if this miraculous productivity wasn't supernatural at all? Archaeological evidence from the ancient Near East reveals sophisticated agricultural techniques that modern science is only beginning to understand. Ancient farmers developed intricate knowledge of soil composition, water management, and plant genetics through centuries of careful observation. They understood concepts we now call permaculture, companion planting, and terraced irrigation systems that could create localized microclimates capable of supporting exceptional plant growth. The region where Naboth's vineyard supposedly existed, the fertile valleys of Samaria, possessed unique geological characteristics. Limestone bedrock created natural drainage systems while retaining essential minerals. Volcanic deposits from ancient geological activity enriched the soil with trace elements crucial for vine health. Ancient texts describe farming techniques that sound almost mystical, but align perfectly with modern understanding of soil chemistry and plant nutrition. Consider this. What appeared miraculous to ancient eyes might simply have been the result of perfect environmental conditions combined with generations of accumulated agricultural expertise. The divine blessing could have been the natural outcome of exceptional terroir, that French concept describing how environment, soil, and climate create perfect growing conditions. When we examine Naboth's story through the lens of agricultural science, the miracle becomes less supernatural and more scientifically fascinating. The foundation of this ancient wisdom rested on intimate knowledge of natural cycles, soil health, and plant biology that took centuries to develop and perfect. The biblical account describes Naboth's vineyard producing grapes of unusual size and sweetness, yielding abundant harvests when neighboring vineyards failed. Witnesses reported vines heavy with fruit during drought years, leaves staying green when others withered, and grapes ripening weeks earlier than expected. These phenomena, interpreted as divine favor, might actually represent sophisticated agricultural techniques lost to history. Modern viticulture recognizes several factors that could produce such extraordinary results. Deep-rooted ancient vine varieties, now extinct, might have accessed underground water sources invisible to surface observation. Mycorrhizal networks, symbiotic relationships between plant roots and beneficial fungi, could have created extensive underground communication and nutrient-sharing systems that sustained the vineyard during harsh conditions. Archaeological studies of ancient agricultural sites reveal evidence of advanced water management systems. Stone channels carved beneath vineyards directed groundwater flow, creating consistent moisture levels even during droughts. Terraced hillsides collected rainwater and channeled it precisely where needed. These systems, built over generations, would appear miraculous to casual observers who couldn't see the hidden infrastructure. The timing of grape ripening mentioned in ancient accounts suggests possible cultivation of multiple varieties with staggered harvest seasons, creating the illusion of continuous production. Ancient farmers understood genetic diversity long before Mendel's laws, selectively breeding plants for specific traits like drought resistance, early ripening, or enhanced sugar content. Consider also the psychological aspect. A vineyard that consistently outperformed neighbors would attract attention and generate stories. Each successful harvest would add to its legendary status, with natural variations in yield becoming interpreted as supernatural intervention. The human tendency to attribute unusual natural phenomena to divine causes transformed agricultural expertise into religious narrative. What seemed miraculous was likely the culmination of centuries of agricultural innovation, environmental understanding, and careful cultivation techniques that created genuinely exceptional growing conditions. Understanding how Naboth's vineyard achieved its legendary productivity requires examining the intersection of ancient wisdom and modern agricultural science. Soil analysis of similar ancient sites reveals complex nutrient profiles that would unoccur naturally, evidence of deliberate soil enhancement through organic amendments, mineral supplementation, and careful pH management. Ancient texts describe practices that align perfectly with contemporary understanding of plant nutrition. References to feeding the earth with specific organic materials, timing applications with lunar cycles, and rotating crops suggest sophisticated knowledge of soil biology. These farmers understood that healthy soil contains living ecosystems, bacteria, fungi, insects, and microorganisms that work symbiotically with plant roots to maximize nutrient uptake and disease resistance. The concept of companion planting, extensively practiced in ancient agriculture, demonstrates remarkable understanding of plant relationships. Certain plants fix nitrogen in soil, others repel harmful insects, and some attract beneficial pollinators. A well-designed ancient vineyard might include dozens of complementary species, creating a self-sustaining ecosystem that appears to produce miraculous results without external inputs. Water management techniques discovered at archaeological sites reveal engineering sophistication that rivals modern irrigation systems. Stone-lined channels, underground cisterns, and precisely calculated grade slopes created water distribution networks that maintained optimal soil moisture throughout growing seasons. During drought years, these hidden systems would continue delivering water, making the vineyard appear divinely protected. Microclimate manipulation represents another area where ancient knowledge exceeded modern assumptions. Strategically placed stones absorbed heat during the day and released it at night, extending growing seasons. Terraced hillsides created wind patterns that prevented frost damage. Careful selection of aspect and elevation optimized sunlight exposure while protecting from harsh weather. The miraculous productivity of Naboth's vineyard likely resulted from the convergence of optimal natural conditions, centuries of accumulated agricultural knowledge, and meticulous application of techniques that modern science is still rediscovering and validating. The concept of terroir, the complete natural environment where a vineyard exists, provides the most compelling scientific explanation for Naboth's extraordinary vineyard. This French term encompasses soil composition, topography, climate, and even the human factor in cultivation practices. When all elements align perfectly, the results can indeed appear miraculous. Geological surveys of ancient vineyard sites in the region reveal unique subsurface conditions that could create exceptional growing environments. Limestone bedrock provides excellent drainage while slowly releasing minerals essential for grape development. Underground springs, common in this geological formation, would provide consistent water sources invisible from the surface. Volcanic ash layers, deposited by ancient eruptions, contain trace elements that enhance fruit flavor and plant health. The microclimate created by specific topographical features might explain the vineyard's legendary resilience during harsh seasons. Valleys that funnel cool air prevent heat damage during extreme summers. Hillside orientations that capture maximum morning sun while avoiding scorching afternoon heat create optimal growing conditions. Natural windbreaks formed by surrounding terrain protect delicate vines from destructive storms. Ancient cultivation techniques specific to this terroir might have been closely guarded family secrets, passed down through generations of Naboth's ancestors. These could include specific pruning methods that maximize fruit production, timing of soil amendments based on local weather patterns, and selection of vine varieties perfectly adapted to local conditions. Such specialized knowledge, developed over centuries, would create agricultural results that appeared supernatural to outsiders. The soil microbiome, the complex ecosystem of bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms living in healthy vineyard soil, plays a crucial role in plant health and productivity. Ancient organic farming practices, including the use of compost, animal manures, and green manures, would have cultivated exceptionally rich soil biology. This living soil would support plant health in ways that appear almost magical, but is scientifically explainable. The convergence of perfect natural conditions, centuries of specialized knowledge, and meticulous care created a vineyard that genuinely outperformed its neighbors through entirely natural means. Today's agricultural scientists are rediscovering principles that ancient farmers like Naboth understood intuitively. Precision agriculture, sustainable farming practices, and regenerative agriculture all echo techniques that may have made ancient vineyards appear miraculous. Modern viticulture increasingly recognizes that the most exceptional wines come from vineyards that achieve perfect harmony between plant, soil, and environment. Contemporary research validates many practices described in ancient agricultural texts. Studies on mycorrhizal networks demonstrate how underground fungal systems share nutrients and information between plants, creating resilient agricultural ecosystems. Biodynamic farming, which incorporates lunar cycles and natural preparations, produces results that scientifically minded farmers initially dismissed as mystical nonsense, but now recognize as effective agricultural techniques. Climate change research has renewed interest in drought-resistant cultivation methods, leading scientists to study ancient water management systems and discover their remarkable efficiency. Traditional terracing techniques, underground irrigation networks, and microclimate manipulation strategies developed thousands of years ago are being integrated into modern sustainable agriculture programs worldwide. Genetic studies of ancient grape varieties reveal traits that modern breeding programs are trying to recreate: disease resistance, drought tolerance, and enhanced nutritional content. Some ancient cultivars, preserved in isolated vineyards, demonstrate productivity levels that exceed modern hybrid varieties under specific conditions. These discoveries suggest that ancient farmers possessed genetic knowledge that complemented their environmental expertise. The integration of traditional ecological knowledge with modern, scientific understanding creates agricultural systems that achieve productivity levels that would have seemed miraculous to previous generations. Smart sensors monitor soil conditions in real time, but the principles they measure: pH, moisture, nutrient levels, microbial activity, are the same factors that ancient farmers learned to assess through careful observation and experience. Modern agriculture is learning that the most sustainable and productive systems work with natural processes rather than against them, a principle that ancient farmers like Naboth understood and applied with remarkable success. Even with our advanced scientific understanding, some aspects of exceptional agricultural productivity remain mysterious. The perfect convergence of natural conditions, human knowledge, and environmental factors that created truly extraordinary vineyards like Naboth represents a complexity that challenges our ability to fully explain or replicate such phenomena. Modern science can identify the individual components that contribute to exceptional agricultural productivity: optimal soil chemistry, beneficial microbial communities, perfect water management, ideal microclimate conditions, and expert cultivation techniques. However, the precise interaction between all these factors, developed over centuries of careful observation and refinement, creates systems of such complexity that they approach the seemingly miraculous. This complexity suggests that ancient agricultural wisdom operated at levels of sophistication that we're only beginning to appreciate. The integration of environmental observation, plant biology, soil science, and cultivation techniques represented a form of applied ecology that achieved results through holistic understanding rather than reductionist approaches. Such systems developed through generations of accumulated wisdom might indeed produce outcomes that appear supernatural to those who don't understand their underlying principles. The story of Naboth's vineyard ultimately represents the intersection between human understanding and natural mystery. While science can explain many aspects of exceptional agricultural productivity, the perfect synthesis of knowledge, environment, and technique that creates truly extraordinary results remains partially beyond our complete comprehension. Perhaps this is where faith and science find common ground in the recognition that natural systems possess depths of complexity and interconnection that humble our understanding. The vineyard that seemed blessed by divine intervention might have been the product of human wisdom working in perfect harmony with natural principles, creating something greater than the sum of its parts. In this synthesis of knowledge and mystery, ancient agricultural wisdom offers insights that continue to inspire and challenge our modern understanding of what is possible when human intelligence collaborates with natural systems. The legacy of Naboth's vineyard reminds us that some phenomena, while scientifically explainable in principle, remain mysteriously extraordinary in practice. The extraordinary vineyard of Naboth challenges us to reconsider the boundaries between miracle and science, faith and knowledge. Perhaps the most profound mysteries aren't those that defy explanation, but those that reveal the incredible complexity and beauty inherent in natural systems when guided by human wisdom. What other ancient miracles await scientific understanding?